They not ready for Karoline Leavitt, man. The press secretary for the White House. She is, man. She is playing no games. I love the way she answers the questions. Very direct. She's got all the receipts, got all her information. She's not holding back, man. That's that whole vibe of this administration, man. Not holding back. Like we're here to do a good job. We're here to do the job that the people want us to do. We're here to bring. We are here to restore balance, restore the law, get rid of as much of this ridiculousness as you guys have caused, as much as we possibly can. So this press secretary, she fit right in. She's part of the Avengers, man. I'm telling you, man. The Republicans winning, man. They win in this sex appeal too. I'm just saying, man. I'm just being a guy right now. You got Pam Bondi, beautiful. You got Tulsi Gabbard, beautiful. You got Karoline Leavitt, beautiful. Only ones the Dems got. I mean, Dems got Elizabeth Warren. That's no. Y'all got Nancy Pelosi. No, we don't want that. Only one y'all got is AOC, man. AOC is, I give y'all that, man. You know, I was a guy responded to one of my posts. I was posting about AOC. And she actually was talking about congressmen from running the stock market. I actually liked that piece. She was talking about her own people. But one of the comments was, man, I hate AOC and I hate the fact that I want to bang her. Yeah, I agree with you. That's who y'all got, man. All y'all got is AOC. That's it, man. But then again, Nancy Pelosi got the money. Nancy Pelosi worth hundreds of millions of dollars, man. Could you imagine being a lifelong servant in politics, man? You in the government, and who knew you had such a talent for investing in the stock market? Who knew that the stock market was going to make you hundreds of millions of dollars, man? Who knew, dude? Brilliant lady, man. We're gonna find out. Are we gonna find out? Let's get to Karoline Leavitt.
And I would just say a strong message to Democrats who are out there pretending to be outraged about the long list of crap that this administration is cutting, federal waste and funding, like $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala, $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt, $20 million on a new Sesame Street show in Iraq, $4.5 million to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan. Democrats are outraged that the American people want to be, they want their taxpayers going to good uses, not stuff like this. But then they're very quiet about the fact that there are still North Carolinians and people in California who have lost everything. And in the last 4 years, this federal government did nothing to help them.
Every day.
Mic drop. That's a mic drop. This Karoline Leavitt just got a whole bunch of mic drops, man. She's good, man. She got my attention. Man. Like, damn, she came with that ether. She came with that Kendrick. She came with that not like us. She's what? Don't you over here talking silly? And she dropped the ether, man. Ooh, that ether. That make your soul burn slow. Make your soul burn slow. They're gonna have a lot of memes of her, man. A lot of memes of her, man. She's taking no prisoners, man. Karoline Leavitt, man.
They're telling them more of the stuff that they're cutting, more of these ridiculous projects that they're finding, so much so that comedians are now taking to socials to do their own parodies of this daily ritual.
Hi, welcome to the Department of Government Efficiency. We were looking over last year's budget and we found some anomalies that we wanted to address. Okay, if you're talking about the military budget, if you want a safe country, that's how much we... Oh, we didn't even start looking at that yet. Get ready for that. No, we were looking at this list here. We wanted to start with the National Pillow Fluffing Initiative. I mean, don't you want your pillow to be fluffy? Also, the Bureau of Elevator Music Standards. Explain yourself. Forgive me if you're trying to set the vibe, bro. $800,000 a year. The National Velcro Noise Study. What's the problem here? You don't have to spend $1 million a year to know that Velcro noise is annoying. Now, the Federal Kazoo Orchestra grant, it's amazing what they could do with those things, honestly. The Federal Bureau of Traffic Cone Counting, $256,343. You're welcome. Now, that's what I call $800,000 well spent.
And forget about traffic cone counting. The yay of the day goes to base.
Real quick, man. I seen that video before I was dying. I was like, oh my God. I think Elon reposted it, man. But bravo, man. I love creativity like that. He did a great job with that video, man.
Council in Sydney, which managed to do this in the middle of their footpaths. Yes, that is an electricity box. They have literally built the footpath right around it. How much better can you get?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable is right. But let's get one more video, man. Karoline, man, she's sweet Karoline. Bum, bum, bum. Good times never been so good. So good. So good. So good. That's that Donald Trump. Y'all ain't ready? Ain't ready for that celebratory dance, Donald Trump? Y'all see it? Y'all see it? Y'all, what? Sweet Karoline. Bum, bum, bum.
Let's bring in Karoline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, to dig more into this and other issues. Carolyn, it's great to see you. It's good to have our own private briefing
Call her
today.
Caroline.
It's great to see you too. Thanks for having me, guys.
So the Democrats are really screaming from the rooftops about DOGE, all centered around Elon Musk and USAID. Here's just a little bit of what they've been doing in the past few days.
First and foremost, Elon Musk.
This is a dictatorship in the making. We're not going to have apartheid in America anymore.
So here's the interesting thing. A Reuters Ipsos poll that was done right after the USAID news broke found that 56% of people would like to see all foreign assistance programs suspended, which is leading a lot of people to say that the Democrats have picked a very weird hill to die on.
That's because there's no other hill to die on, because President Trump continues to deliver on the promises that he made to the American people on the campaign trail, and going through the federal government line by line and making this government more efficient is one of those priorities and one of those promises that President Trump made. And as you just cited, John, 56% of Americans support freezing foreign aid. And I read a fascinating article in the Washington Post today. They interviewed voters in Pennsylvania, and all of them said that they support President Trump and Elon Musk's efforts to make this government more efficient. What President Trump and Elon Musk and this entire administration is trying to do is make our bloated bureaucracy here in Washington run like a profitable business. And every agency has been tasked with going line by line and ensuring that the American taxpayers' money is aligned with the American people's interests. It's a common sense solution to fixing a decades-old problem of bloated bureaucracy, waste, fraud, and abuse. And the vast majority of Americans support it. So the Democrats can hoot and holler all they want. This White House will stay committed to delivering on President Trump's priorities and being good stewards of the hardworking American people's tax dollars.
All right, Karoline.
What, man? Y'all don't like our tax dollars being spent on rubbers, on transgender surgeries, on what they say, $20 million on a Sesame Street reboot in another country? What the fuck? What? Does this shit seem ridiculous to you? How do y'all defend this, man? How do Democrats defend this? We will win. We will win. Like, you guys are being exposed, man, and all y'all got is name calling. That's all y'all got, man. Now y'all got impeachment, trying to impeach y'all. Y'all is in shambles. You guys are the quintessential in shambles. Y'all are the in shambles. Y'all are it. Whenever you think of in shambles from now on, think of the Democratic Party, man. They are in total shambles, dude. It's embarrassing, dude. I can't believe I used to belong to this party at one point, man. We will win.
Again, great to have you on the program, Sandra here. So as far as President Trump's federal buyout offer, we know that expires at midnight tonight. The latest we've heard is that 40,000 staff have agreed to leave. Before I get to my question, is that still about the number right now, 40,000?
Yes. Last I checked with the Office of Personnel Management, it was more than 40,000 and counting. And I would add that we encourage federal workers who don't feel like showing up to the office to accept this buyout program. It's a very generous offer from President Trump and this administration.
I just love, she got that smart ass look on her face, but she knows she's right. The information she's delivering is correct. I encourage you. You don't want to show up for work, man. You can get paid to leave. Look, this is the way I see it, man. I don't know if y'all have ever had a buyout package or anything like that, man. You know, but if they paying you to come to work for them, and they're gonna pay you to leave, man, I'm taking it, dude. I'm out, dude. I fully understand that a job is not guaranteed, and I fully understand it won't last forever. So y'all got tired of me. I lasted longer than I thought I would, and y'all gonna pay me to leave. I'm up, man. How much? You know, I probably give a little pushback. Oh man, I think I was thinking double that number. Oh, for real? Y'all gonna take that? Oh yeah, okay then. Yeah, take that, man. Can I get a laptop too? You're going to pay me to leave. I'm leaving, man. I'm leaving with a smile. Yeah, these mugs paid me to leave.
Wonder if that's about the number where the president thought he would be right now, or perhaps that might be bigger. Reportedly, and we'll ask you to confirm if this is the case, President Trump is planning mass layoffs if there are not more who agree to those buyouts. Is that the case?
I haven't heard the president discuss that directly, so I can't confirm that. But like I said, we do know that more than 40,000 and counting federal workers have agreed to this buyout program. And they are looking forward, I guess, to having their 8-month paid vacation. The president made a commitment that he was going to encourage the federal workforce to return to the office. We know only 6% of federal workers are working in the office right now. That's unacceptable, and that's why the buyout program was offered.
I want to ask about the president's announcement on Gaza the other day, which seemed to take staff members by surprise. It's something that he had talked about, but they didn't know he was going to make an announcement. A few people I've talked to who worked there at the White House, when they heard that, they said, wait, what? I mean, it's an idea. Some people think that he's laying down the gauntlet to our allies to say, well, if you don't like this idea, have you got a better idea? But the question I have is, he went through the campaign saying that he wanted to get the United States out of its involvement in foreign entanglements. This would seem to be exactly the opposite of that.
I don't think so, John. The president has made it clear that he will not be sending boots on the ground in Gaza. He is not committed to that. He also has made it clear that American taxpayers will not be funding this effort. The president is trying to strike a deal to ensure that Gaza can actually be a habitable place for human beings who want to live in peace with real economic development. And President Trump is an outside of the box thinker. That's again why the American people elected him, because he has a different perspective to the foreign policy challenges that have been plaguing our world for many, many years. And so this is a great idea, and our partners in the region have begun to discuss it with this administration. We have the King of Bahrain coming to the White House next week, and the president has spoken to many of our partners and allies in the Middle East about this opportunity in Gaza.
Okay, in lines of all the spending cuts, there's a lot of concern, and Democrats are penning letters to the president trying to get clarity on where he stands with the Department of Education. Is he planning to completely dismantle this? What right now is his thinking on that?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, first, let me say the president is wholeheartedly committed to spending cuts and, of course, making the government more efficient. That's part of what DOGE is already hitting the ground running to do. As when it comes to the Department of Education, the president and his policy team continue to look at options and how to reduce the size of the Department of Education, if not abolish it completely. You heard the president say, half jokingly but also serious, he wants Linda McMahon, who will lead that agency, presidency to put herself out of a job because he wants to return the power over our education system back to the states. In fact, I actually have a statistic in front of me. 70% of 8th graders are at a below proficient level in math and reading. 70%. And that's despite spending hundreds of billions of dollars on education every single year. The current system located in Washington, D.C. is not working. And the president is committed to ensuring that states and parents have a greater say in our children's education system.
Yeah, I mean, the state of education in America, for the most part, is scandalous. There's no doubt about that. I wanted to ask you about the executive order that the president signed yesterday in what was a brilliant moment of stagecraft at the White House, surrounded by all those young female athletes, as the president codified in an executive order the fact that transgender athletes have to stay out of women's sports. But in order to really codify that, that's going to take an act of Congress. Is the president moving down that direction?
Well, we expect Congress to act on this, and if Congress puts a bill on this topic before President Trump's desk that makes sense and is good law, then the president is committed to signing legislation that supports the executive action he has already taken. And I will just say it was a glorious moment at the White House yesterday afternoon to see these female athletes who have worked so hard and have spoken up so courageously about the injustices that they have faced on the sports field. And as a former college softball player myself, it was incredibly special to see the president make the dreams of millions of female athletes across the country true. And we had a big win following President Trump's executive order. Within hours, the NCAA announced that they will be following with the president's federal policy. And by the way, we expect the Olympic Committee to do the same. 2028, the Olympics will be returning to the United States of America, and how wonderful it will be for women across the world to see the U.S. lead on this incredibly important and common sense issue.
Karoline, I want to finish by asking you about the number of deportations we've seen so far. Perhaps this is the most public action for the American people that they've seen under this new presidency. Is the president happy, content with the number of deportations we've seen so far? There's reports that those numbers have not reached the heights he was hoping.
No, the president is very pleased with the efforts by his team. Tom Homan, Stephen Miller, Secretary Kristi Noem, who has been traversing the country, talking with Border Patrol agents and ICE agents who are been tasked with this very important responsibility, the largest mass deportation operation in history. But as I've said before, we will not get complacent. And the president has made this very bold promise to the American people, and he expects everybody across DHS and here at the White House to continue to work hard every day to deport illegal criminals from American communities. And yesterday, I know that Mr. Homan was in Colorado. They deported more than 100 Tren de Aragua members. That's a huge win for the American people, for law-abiding citizens of this country who have been put last because of the previous administration's immigration policies and are being put first again because of the Trump administration's immigration policies.
Karoline, thank you for coming on and spending time with us today. And it almost feels like I'm back in the front row in the briefing room.
You should come join us, John, anytime.
Well, I appreciated our times that we spent together chatting in the lower press office some years ago.
All right. Karoline, thank you so much. Come back soon.
Karoline Leavitt. Man, they have a strong. They got some strong players, man. Donald Trump has got some strong players on his side, man. And I know I want to call her Sweet Karoline, man. Sweet Karoline, bum bum bum. Tell you, man, good times never been so good. It's the golden age, baby. We in the golden age. Y'all don't even realize you right now in the beginning of the golden age. Donald Trump doing this thing, man. I'm just waiting, man. I'm waiting on Wall Street. I really hope that Donald Trump eradicates the malfeasance on Wall Street, man. It's time. If you take a look, the common denominator is us. You look at all of this crime, everything that's happening, man, whether it's reckless spending or criminal spending or some type of money laundering or whatever, it always has something to do with us, the retail investors, the the citizens of America. Man, they take full advantage of us, man. They take the money and they spend it on whatever. I think somehow it's reaching the pockets of some of these people, man. And I'm glad that they're all over this whole US aid and DOGE is on top of that. I'm glad that they're investigating it, man. There's a reason why the Democrats are as hostile as they are. Y'all hostile, man. Y'all level of shambles is hostile level. That's like the highest level, hostile level shambles. It's ridiculous, man. Take a look at Wall Street. Who gets taken advantage of? Us, retail investors, man. They sit up here and they just feed us a bunch of lies. They feed us a bunch of lies, man. They've been directing this whole thing the whole time, man. Over the last 4 or 5 years, we actually found out, oh shit, this is how they've been doing it, man. So shout out to the apes, man. I've been part of watching this whole movement, man, since Roaring Kitty and GME. I was lucky enough to get in, and I rock with GME, I rock with AMC, I rock with HYMC, and I'm a supporter. I rock with Tesla too, but I'm a supporter of DJT. I'm a supporter of MMTLP. So this is not financial advice. If you don't know anything about those ticker symbols that I just said, man, go ahead and research it. All the information is there. All the information is there, man. Anyway, promises made, promises kept, man. Looking strong, man. Donald Trump team looks strong, man. His team looks strong, like the Avengers. Man, they look like the Avengers.